Also, maybe not a good look in the education / extracurricular activity things in high school. Yesterday in Buford, Georgia, which is a nice suburb outside of Atlanta. People around here know Buford because of the Raiolas, but also Nebraska has recruited Buford for a while.
Yeah.
Gabe Irvin was from Buford, right? I think he was from Buford.
Yeah, Nebraska's had multiple Buford people.
So high school football in the Atlanta area is ginormous. Texas, Georgia, Florida right now are killing it when it comes to high school football in terms of the commitment, everything that goes into it, and also who's recruiting there. California doesn't seem to have the same place it used to have, but more people are moving out of California. But Texas, Florida, and Georgia right now are the three hottest areas in that part of the country for high school football. And then you throw in Ohio. Ohio is still dominant in high school football. So it means more, not only in the SEC, but if you've ever been to Texas and you've seen some of the high school stadiums, heck, I could even say, and this bugs me, over in Des Moines has nicer high school football stadiums at their high schools than we do in Omaha. Yeah.
Okay.
Johnston.
Okay.
My high school invested a ton into their football stadium.
Yes, when you are getting not the Des Moines high schools, when you're getting Valley and, like you said, Waukee, because I went in the year, because I lived in Des Moines for a little bit, and I went to some of their high schools. It rivaled. Not and I want to say this because I love 8-man football. But 8-man football, where it's bad teams, that was the attendance. And some of these stadiums they had in Des Moines, where I would go sit, there are wasps' nests. Like, they don't care about their stadiums.
So you might have gone to Williams Stadium to see North and Roosevelt or North and Des Moines East.
Like, there's some bad. But yes, when you get around Des Moines,
so there is in the Des Moines area in the burbs, there is a huge commitment to facilities when it comes to athletics. And we've seen in this area, they did kind of of course, Burke is first and foremost because it's most recently done. And then you have what they've done at Buell. But in Buford, Georgia, where Dayton Raiola plays, they will be on national TV. They play Milton on the 14th. It'll be on ESPN. So you can watch Nebraska's quarterback of the 26 class. Yesterday, they had a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the brand-new high school football stadium. The total cost of the stadium, $62 million. It is nicer than a lot of college stadiums, especially at the FCS level. Maybe even some at the lower level. It just does not have the capacity because the seating capacity is 10,000. It has a 3,500 square foot video scoreboard. It has 15 covered luxury suites. It has a 2-story field house complete with a locker room. It is the largest high school football stadium, one of, in the southeastern part of the country. Now, in Texas, there are a few of these that are just jaw-dropping, and you're like, hey, what college team plays here? The build is complete, and it is stunning, to say the least.
That looks so nice.
But and again, they are a high school football powerhouse who almost seems like, let's prepare our players for pre-college. Let's have a recruiting tool of this facility. We know that we are big on football, but you come here to play, you're going to play in this stadium, this level, we'll get you ready for college. There is also the academic part where people are wondering, is this necessary? And what is our return on investment? Can you imagine, because you're familiar with LPS and their challenges financially, we know OPS in the surrounding area here, some of the challenges, some school districts are better off than others. If not a centralized OPS stadium, like let's say you tear down Burke and you built something like this, and so you can have OPS football, track, soccer. What if, and again, this is hypothetical, let's say Gretna East, unveils a $62 million high school football stadium. Or hell, even in Elkhorn, where they have 3 high schools that play in one stadium. Might be a little bit different because it would be for 3 high schools. But what if a single high school in this, either in Lincoln or Omaha, opened up a facility like this? What do you think the reaction would be?
It'd be largely negative. Well, and it wouldn't be
because
just...
you'd say we're cutting teachers and so on and so forth and salaries, and I look out my window of my classroom and I see this thing.
I don't even think most people would be saying that. Now,
okay.
To me, that's valid. That's where I would be, because I'm like, okay, do the facilities suit what needs to get done?
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, which at the high school level, to me, that's different than at the college level, where your facilities are like, you have to make these all sparkly and shiny, and that's part of the recruiting process in the future. At the high school level, do they suit what you need to get done right now and for the next 10 years? And if they do, you don't got to touch them. If it ever becomes no, sure, do your renovations. That's why you saw like Burke get some renovations, because it needed to be a little bit updated for the next 10 years or longer. To me, it's where's that money coming from?
Okay.
Because what's one of the number one things talked about in the state of Nebraska? It's property taxes. And I'm not going to go that direction on all of this, but people want to know, what is my money going towards? Is my money going towards something that benefits a very small population out of the whole, compared to what else could that money have been used for? And yes, that comes back to teachers and other extracurriculars, and what are the other educational aspects that you can do for these high schools. Sports guy in me, the stadium is freaking sweet.
Oh,
is this part
incredible recruiting tool.
Down at the end below the video board, is that a miniature football field for like...
Yes, for kids.
For the kids? Because I love that. You go to a high school game and the kids are playing their own game. And sometimes, at least for me, we didn't always have a football, so sometimes you made sure someone had $1 they could go get a Coke bottle. And you just leave like a little bit in there and you're throwing that around. To a little kid's own separate football field at the football field.
This is kind of why the South owns football, because of the commitment here. Now, I cannot find how this was financed. Was it a private donor? Because the conversation changes a little bit if it was money from the educational system. I got to imagine they raised money.
Yeah.
It is named after an educator, but it is absolutely stunning.
Well, and that's how you help with it. You make it mostly private funding, if not all private funding, and you name it after the educational side.
Mm-hmm. Let's see this. Like, I'll use Millard North as an example again. So we have 3 high schools in Elkhorn that use all the same football stadium. You have 3 high schools in Millard that use all the same football stadium right there at Millard South. Millard West, they just do not have space to build a stadium. Okay. That neighborhood would lose their mind if all of a sudden they said, you know what? Let's build a stadium that we can play football on Friday night. I mean, we have Burke. So Burke plays there. Also, Prep plays there. But what if Millard North, which they have a football stadium, but it is not available to use on a Friday night. They go over to Buell and play, and they have a little bit of land. Like Millard North, just, hey, here's a brand new, because we know we're competing against Millard South. We're competing against Millard West. We're competing against West Side. We're competing against the Elkhorn schools, Elkhorn South. Here's our $62 million Ike Payne football stadium right here on the campus of Millard North with the Fred Petito entrance. Because the facilities around here do actually pale compared to other places around the area. I'm not going to even compare the South, like Seacrest. Seacrest got a little bit of an update not too long ago, and I like Seacrest. Seacrest is a nice place.
Seacrest is nice.
Seacrest actually could have the ability to do something like this, where you could put in bigger video boards, some suites, make that. But it's not. It's used by all the public schools essentially in Lincoln. It's not. It is, even though it's right next. It's on Lincoln East campus.
Yeah.
It is not just particularly for the Spartans.
And what The other thing you would need to make sure you do, and I know Memorial Stadium is trying to do this, like what other events can you get there? I need that thing in use as much as possible for like that kind of cost. And that's why you're saying not just football, but the marching band needs a whole lot of access to it. Get the soccer team out there. It better have a track around it. Like you got to have all of these things to where that thing is almost in perpetual use for that kind of a cost. And then that cost isn't just in getting it open. It's got to stay maintained.
Thanks, JD. He said it was paid for by the city of Buford. They added a 1% tax increase.
Man, in Lincoln, they just went through a fight about keeping whatever, I can't remember if it was sales tax or whatever it was, but it was about fixing roads and potholes. You put 1% up for a vote, and hey, here's this beautiful stadium. I'm sorry, I love it, but that thing's not getting 25%.
So, like think about the private schools that are big time into football. And Adam's right here. If Prep ever decides to build their own football stadium, and they have a nice football stadium that can be used for freshman football and JV football that is right next to the school. I mean, that's a nice facility, and that's where they practice. But you're not rolling in there to play on a Friday night. They played South there, like a 4:00 game. Noah Fant was still in high school. It was It was some type of anniversary, but they would have to put lights up, and the whole neighborhood around Prep. There's some homes that still have to be sold that Prep owns. Adam's right. Prep would be the school to do something like this through private financing, which you think if you came to some big donors, Prep grads, and said, hey, we'd like to build the Taj Mahal of high school football that is just ours in Nebraska. We'll also massage a little bit that seniors can transfer into Prep. Would you be in for it? Like that. You'd get that built at Prep, and you'd have something like this in Omaha. Now, I don't know where you would put it. I mean,
finding a place. But then you can also, if you have it, and you go, all right, this is the home stadium. You don't got to fight with anyone. You get 7:00 kickoff every Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
oh yeah, you're not playing on Thursdays.
Do you want to rent it out on Thursdays?
No.
You don't. It's only yours.
It's only yours. It's specific to you.
I'm sorry.
It's not open to the community to come and walk the track or climb up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
Now, I imagine one of the things in Buford is it's going to have to be open to the public.
Mm-hmm.
People live in Buford can come and they can walk the track or run the stairs or do something like that. But Prep would be, that's a good call by Adam. Prep would be one of those places in this state that could get away with building something like that because it wouldn't cost you or I any tax dollars, and they would have the financing, and they are, they have a commitment to football, and people would lose their mind.
I like money. I'm taking 50% of the gate and 50% of concessions. No, I'm taking 50% of the gate and 100% of concessions.
All right, Doc Schinzel, get on this. But if you want to see this field, so Dayton Raiola, who is the quarterback at Buford, they are on ESPN on Thursday night, August 14th. This is when this stadium will make its debut. $62 million high school football stadium in Buford, Georgia.
With more capacity than Cope Stadium in Kearney.
And
at UNK.
No offense. I know your loyalty to the Lopers. It looks a little bit nicer.
Oh, no, it does, for sure.
Okay, I'm just checking before you hit me.
The visitor side seating at UNK could use a little bit more something.
That's the thing. That's look at all the high school stadiums. There's no seating for visiting fans in high school.
The visitor side, they went, just roll something metal out there.
Yeah. Hey, put up a couple of rows. It'll be fine. Wouldn't that be something if they put a $62 million upgrade into Siemens Stadium, which has the best view of one of the best views of any place in Nebraska, where you look right into downtown Omaha? You don't think Abdul could get on that? Coach Mackey, they raise a little money. Central grads are like,
and what do all the high schools use? That Strive TV.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Get some great city shots. Get the landscape.
The guys from No Block No Rock, Crouch Recreation Stadium. You don't think EC would be like, oh, I got the manpower and the goods. We'll just come over there and we'll start building today.
Ooh.
That would rub some people the wrong way. You wouldn't have to share it with Millard South or Millard West at Buell. You'd have your own stadium. They got room out there. I don't know if that's ever been a consideration.
Well, in the way like Elkhorn and Gretna are building a new high school every couple of years right now because of all the growth, getting something central that's super nice. Now, here's the thing. So when I went to college near St. Louis, Edwardsville, like it's an athletic campus, not just a football stadium. So it's having all of the baseball field, softball field, practice fields, like all of that around there. I know that's really tough to find space for in Omaha, but if you get to some of the burbs, maybe you've got space. And I know Gretna, like the guy who owns the crossing, like they want to do the big expanse of stuff. Yeah. But if you can get that done with a school or a group of schools.
Formerly Knoxville Chris, still Chris. Congratulations on his engagement, by the way. He said if Prep did something, or if Prep or another organization build a facility like that, you're also building it with the intent to take the state championships away from Memorial Stadium. I think they would help the school sell it to the community. Revenue generation for the area.
When you build something new, you should be thinking about what are the events I can get here. That was one of the first questions. Now, I loved Burke. I loved going to state track at Burke. I competed there all 4 years of high school. I was fortunate enough to win a couple of times. When Nebraska announced that it was building a new outdoor track, one of my first questions was, how big are you going to make this with the seating and the availability to host not just Nebraska Cornhusker events? Are you going to build this with the intent to approach the NSAA about state track and getting another state championship on campus? And they had said at the time that was part of the intention.
I think it'd be tough to take now that they've invested at Burke.
And that was pre-invest. That was pre-investment in renovation.
Hey, before they did something at Burke, that was very much a conversation that Omaha could lose state track, because that would be the only place really in the state that could handle the volume of people that come.
Yes.
But now that they have put in money into Burke and it's finished and it looks really, really nice, you people in Lincoln are not getting one of our championships.
And the format where you're spreading out the amount of people that are there at once, because you think about the parking, and especially if it's wet, and then you got people on the grass and all of those things. But yes, that pre-renovation when Nebraska was going to build it, and they still haven't even finished it yet, the intention was to put it in a place to try to bid for state track.
Pete says, fail, Gary. How come you have not mentioned your beloved District 66? I mean, we've got another project going on right now. When we get done with that, I'm sure, Kirkman we'll start working on a football field. We can enclose it, and also maybe make the press box builder bigger, and maybe put the home stands on the right side of the field over there. But they do have the large video board.